up, everybody? It's your girl Mika, and you're watching the Red Cup Podcast, where truth, pop culture, and politics meet. What's up? What's up, everybody? It's your girl Mika, and we're back for another Red Cup Talks because this is where truth, pop culture, and politics meet. And welcome back to another live stream. What's up, everybody? It's Thursday. What's going on? What's going on, your car? What's going on, Lisa? What's going on, Qatar? What's going on, you guys? What's going on, Mr. Renegade? Sugar Shane. What's going on, Carol? You chilling from Jersey? What's going on, Van Pass? What's going on, Scoop? What's going on, Eric? What's going on, Corey? What's going on? Yeah, you guys. So if you didn't just see my text that I put in the chat, I want you guys to just put a random number in the chat because at the end, okay, at the end of the live stream, I'm going to pick a random number. All right. So try to stay for the end. All right. And if you do got to go, come back. All right. Come back. How you guys doing today? Y'all good? What's up, OG? What's up? Oh, and let me tell you, do not put over 50. Don't put anything over 50. I'm not going to think that far. All right, you guys. What's up? Millen Rick and 13 siblings. Wow, that's a heck of a name. What's up, the Ski Report? What's up, Scoop? All right, you guys. So we got a lot to get into today. When I say a lot, I do mean a lot. All right. Now, you guys saw the thumbnail. Now, the thumbnail is just speaking from our main topic. All right. But I got a couple of shots I want to get into first. All right. So let's get into a couple of these little bit of serious stories, but very small, short bursts. Okay. Again, we're going to call them shots. Here we go. So this is a story that the mainstream media is not talking about. And I wanted to highlight this story because, again, the mainstream liberal media is not talking about it because it doesn't fit a narrative, okay? You guys know what I mean when I say something fits a narrative. You know exactly what I mean, all right? So I want you guys to see this story of a Black mom in South Carolina, I believe, that was found unalive by none other than the people's choice, or I should say the Democrats' choice, the illegals. Let's get into it. Here we go.
6 people, including a 15 and 13-year-old, are now charged in connection with the murder of a 40-year-old mother in Lancaster County. Larisha Thompson was shot to death earlier this month during a robbery. However, her body was not found until last week inside her car. Today, authorities released new details in this case, revealing the suspects pulled up near Thompson's car, then opened fire, killing her. And then her car came to a stop in the road. And then the suspects tried to rob her, but the car doors were locked. Her family is now demanding justice.
Mad, angry, hurt, sad for the other family. Like, they kids. All they had to do was ask them. She would have gave it to them.
All 6 suspects are subjected to removal from the United States based on their immigration status. 6 people, including...
What do you guys think about that story? What do you guys think? Your car, not 10,000. What do you guys think about that story? Because here's my thoughts on it, right? This is, a group that the Democrats say that they support. Why isn't this story mainstream? Maybe sell your car. Yeah, Van Pass, is very sad. The story isn't mainstream because, like I said, it doesn't fit a narrative, you guys. It doesn't fit the narrative at all. Thank you, Molly. I appreciate it. Yeah, it doesn't fit the narrative, okay? And unfortunately, these are also young kids. So it goes to Tom Homan's point about MS-13 members, TDA. They can be very young, okay? Because I remember the Golden Girls bringing up that point that, oh, well, you know, why would you go after kids? Like, why would you do that? Because a lot of these kids are definitely disastrous. Let's just be frank. All right. A lot of these kids are doing the most. A lot of these kids, especially in this area, are YNs and whatever else you want to call them in other communities. Nobody's checking them. Generation X then checked out. They still at the club. You know, mama like 35, grandmama like 45, kids like 15, 16, 17, 20. You know what I mean? So you guys, let me know what you think about this story. I just wanted to start with that because I thought it was a shame that nobody has been talking about this story in the mainstream. Now, on X and other independent platforms, we all talk about it, but it's not being promoted on the mainstream. I mean, the regular ones don't get promoted, but you would think, you know, with their identity politics that they would start to promote this one, but they have not said a word. So you guys let me know down in the comments and in the chat what you think about that story. All right. All right. So let's get into another story here. Well, not essentially a story. Let's get into the Golden Girls take. Okay. When I say the Golden Girls, you guys know who I mean. I mean The View, unfortunately. The View has a take on Democratic leadership. All right. And I want you guys to hear what they had to say on Democratic leadership. Here we go.
Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett was asked about the future of the Democratic leadership during an interview on the Sirius XM show Urban View. And she thinks they could try to play it safe again. Take a look.
It is this fear that the people within the party, within the primary system, will have about voting for a woman, because every time we voted for a woman, we've lost so far. And I think that that's a natural fear because we just want to win. So there's a lot of people that are like, you know what? Like, let's go find the safest white boy we can find. When we talk about them, I can tell you that there is one specific candidate. I had a donor on the phones with me telling me that all the donors are lining up behind that candidate.
Oh, I think it's JB Pritzker, but I could be wrong.
Pritzker?
He's Illinois governor. He's a billionaire. He's Midwest. He's got the profile. Not wouldn't be a controversial.
I'm Governor Westmore all the way.
Westmore is a very good idea.
And if you don't know who he is, you should learn, because to me, he's the most qualified, amazing candidate I've seen in my lifetime.
So
he will be president.
So you agree with Crockett then,
He's black.
that you can't have a woman.
You can't have a woman.
It's about a woman.
But the thing is that I don't look at people first.
Did you hear what she said? When Joy Nohart went to ask her what she thought of him, what did she say? Oh, he's black. Let me tell you, Governor Westmore is my governor, okay? I'm in the state of Maryland. Governor Westmore is the worst, and I do mean the worst. And when I say Governor Westmore is the worst, meaning we had a $5 billion surplus. And the $5 billion surplus came from the governor, the Republican governor, Hogan, that was here in the state. We're back in the hole. And when I tell you we're back in the hole, we're back in the hole. We are $2 billion in debt. Okay, we have a deficit of $2 billion. We didn't have it before when we had Hogan. Now, I don't know if you guys know who Governor Hogan is, but you know, he only dropped out because he had cancer, right? But he was the governor through all those BLM riots and everything. He moved his He moved his office down to Baltimore. Like, the man was a really, really, really good governor. Okay? To the point Democrats even liked him. However, once he left, it was wide open. And the Democrats got in here, and now Maryland is like a strong blue state. And when I say strong, strong. Okay? We have the senator that you never hear about. She doesn't do anything. You never see her. Okay? She's part of the Kamala crew. All right? She got sworn in by Kamala. Everybody wanted to vote for her because she was black. And then 2, because she was one of the first black women to be, you know, the senator of the state of Maryland. Maryland is trash. So I don't even know why they even put Governor Westmore up there. The education in Maryland has gone down the tubes. Okay. So, but it's the Golden Girl state.
By he's the woman, a black man, a gay person, of this. I look at the best candidate, and then they happen to have all these other things they bring.
You
to
may
it.
be a little different from most of the country.
I don't know. I would say that we've got to stop telling the American public what they're ready for.
Yeah, but
and we've elected a black man before.
We lost twice when women ran.
Yeah.
I mean,
but is there no distinguishing factors to each woman and why they might have lost? Is there no nuance? Or
Hillary Clinton was one of the most qualified candidate in presidential.
She carried a lot.
Okay. The resident black woman, that's really a white woman, she decided to say that Hillary Clinton was the most qualified candidate. I thought Kamala was the most qualified candidate. Like, y'all got to make up your mind. Okay? Cloudy Hostin, look at her. Look at her. She's already deranged because we're talking about women. Anytime we talk about women, she gets deranged. All right? Anytime we talk about Trump, she gets deranged. But let's be clear. Kamala isn't qualified, and Hillary Clinton, I guess, by political standards, she would be qualified, but the woman is a warmonger. The woman is unlikable. The woman wears a pantsuit, and she has a haircut like Ellen. Like, nobody wants that. Nobody sees themselves in her, and everybody knows her record. As simple as that. And when she was in with Barack Obama, we saw the real Hillary Clinton. The real Hillary Clinton is a warmonger. The real Hillary Clinton doesn't answer the phone at 3 a.m., like she said. Okay? She let that poor man, Ambassador Chris Stevens, die in Benghazi. So no, we don't want Hillary. We don't want her, just like we didn't want Kamala. Same difference.
But she was polarized.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm
she
sorry.
lost
Because
to a failed game show host.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes,
I
ma'am.
loved her. I voted for her. But the number one thing I heard from people that didn't like her was there was this mystery around the Clinton baggage they took. I just don't trust her.
They weaponized her husband against Hillary Clinton. And the bottom
They did all
line
those
is,
things.
This
May I
country is a
speak? Yes.
misogynistic country. And this country is a country that out of all of the first world countries hasn't been able to elect a female president.
So
That's just factual.
Okay, listen, sexism, racism absolutely exists. It absolutely is a factor at elections. It is not the determinative factor in the 2024 election. And I disagreed strongly with President Biden when he basically blamed that on why Kamala Harris lost. She outperformed Joe Biden when he was in the race. The numbers went up. The fundraising went up. She had a short window to run. And I think all the data that we have when you see why she lost the battleground states, it is not because a bunch of racist Democrats didn't turn out for her. That's not why.
I just want to point something.
She lost because she was horrible. We don't want to hear Whoopi. She lost because she was horrible. The woman was trash. Kamala was trash. And that's why she lost. Okay? Hillary Clinton lost because we know what she did last summer. Okay? Got all those people killed. Her husband, we can care less. So at the end of the day, all right, that's why they lost. And they don't want to come to terms with that for some reason. Okay. All right, you guys. So the last thing I want to get into in our little shot segment, okay, where we just take a little shot of these stories here. This is an annoying one for me. Reparations are back. Reparations are back. All right. And you can only imagine who are the people pushing for reparations. Yeah, It's the Democrats. They don't have anything else to go to, so reparations are back. Reparations are back on the table. Now, I don't know if you guys, keep up with everything, but I'm going to tell you right now, just guess who's pushing this. Just guess what congressperson is pushing forward with this. You guys in the chat, guess. I bet you already know. However, we're going to get into it. It is none other than a habitual offender of bald-headed reasoning, Ayanna Pressley. A habitual offender. Okay? This woman right here, when I tell you she doesn't do anything, she is number 2 when it comes to, her and Ratchet Crockett. But Ayanna Pressley doesn't do anything. Nothing. She grandstands in Congress all day. Not Lex Luthor, child. She grandstands all day. All right. I want you guys to get into what Ayanna Pressley had to say about reparations for Black America. She's back at this again. I mean, what happened to HR 40? I digress. Here we go.
And discrimination against Black people. We are in a moment of anti-Blackness on steroids, and we refuse to be silent. We will not back down in our pursuit of racial justice. The antidote to anti-Blackness is to be pro-Black, and we will do it unapologetically. The United States government owes us a debt, and we need reparations now. And discrimination against Black people. We are in a moment of anti-Blackness on steroids, and we refuse to be silent. We will not back down in our pursuit of racial justice. The antidote to anti-Blackness is to be pro-Black, and we will do it unapologetically. The United States government owes us a debt, and we need reparations now.
You guys go down to the comments and let me know what you think. Also, let me know in the chat, what do you think about Ayanna Pressley? I'm going to just leave that there because I'm so sick of this woman. I'm so sick of her, Ratchet Crockett, because even if I said, okay, cool, I'm down with the reparations. Cool. What we got? What we got going on? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. You can't say to me, hey, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to get it. Last time we had this conversation, we were talking about studying it. Last time we had this conversation, the Democrats of California said they were going to take it to a vote and give it to the governor. And just like this bald one here, the bald one in California decided, we're not going to give it to the governor. He might just veto it. Gavin Newsom goes and says, y'all never brought it to me. So the Black Caucus got the vote by saying reparations. Again, they had a whole reparations campaign for 2 years and then dropped the ball on it. I wonder why. Yeah, because they're not interested in doing that, and they're not going to do it. How are they going to pay for it? They're sitting here talking about Donald Trump and his big, beautiful bill. All right. They're talking about that, but they don't have anything to say about how they're going to pay for something. At least Donald Trump, whether you like it or not, has a way to pay for it. How do they plan on paying for it? They never tell you this stuff. And that's what pisses me off half of the time. Because the Democrats, they never tell you how they're going to pay for something. And then they sit and they complain, they moan, this and that and the third, and tell you are racist, you are sexist, you're a misogynist, because you don't want to vote for any of these things without telling you how are we going to pay for it, without telling you that my money won't be going towards it, because I'm not interested in giving any of these 92%ers my money, reparations or not. So you guys get down in the comments and let me know what you guys think about all of the shots. Okay, let me know what you thought about the Black mom that was unalived, unfortunately, by the illegal immigrants. Let me know what you thought about the Golden Girls talking about new leadership and who should be a leader. And I'm going to say ter because it's just ghetto. It's just so ghetto. The Democratic Party is just ridiculous right now. But yeah, they're looking for new leadership. And so I want you guys to really see how the Democratic Party is just falling apart. All right. And then let me know what you think about Ayanna Presley and all her bald-headed reasoning with the Black reparations talk again. You guys get down there and let me know. All right, so let me go ahead and read these super chats, and then we're going to get on with it. Thank you, Molly, and I shall see you later. Molly with the 1999 super chat. Thank goodness for independent journalism. Thank you. Like you and Anton. I appreciate it, Molly. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, you guys. So let's move forward. So, as you know, we have a whole conversation on birthrights. All right. We're having this whole conversation with ICE. We're having this whole conversation about who should be here, who shouldn't. We're having a whole conversation about how to get people out, who's going to let them stay. We're having a whole conversation about what is really going on in America and how in the world these people got here. All right. However, a lot of the times, a lot of people don't want to have that, that uncomfortable conversation about what really goes on with birthright in America. Is it a right? If you're just born here on American soil, is it right? Like, is it right? I don't think so. All right. And they keep saying, oh, read the Constitution, read the Constitution. But the Constitution says you have to be subject to the jurisdiction. Keyword juris. Okay. Meaning I have to have some type of domain over you. Right. My law and order applies to you. If I could deport you, I don't have no jurisdiction over you. Somebody else does. So if the parent doesn't, how does the kid? If the parent has no allegiance, how does the kid? You can't make it up. The Democrats would tell you, though, no, that's not what the Constitution says. And to me, I feel like the Democrats do what they normally do. Everybody rides off the backs of the former slaves, the descendants of slaves, all right? Any bill, anything that's passed for them will get put to use for everybody else. You guys get down in the comments and in the chat, you let me know. However, let's get into this story right here. Okay, because the Supreme Court is talking about birthright right now.
I'd like to know if your guest knows what a Chinese maternity house is. They're houses where the Chinese government takes citizens that when they're in their 7th or 8th month, they ship them here for a month. They let them have their children. And then once they have their children, they take them back to China, where now they're U.S. citizens, but they're raised in China. They're loyal to China. We know they're doing it, but they're still getting away with it. And on the other one, with that 2-year-old kid, I noticed how when you read the thing that the daughter was from the 2-year-old, where the baby was here. We kept her here because the mother was from Tren de Agua. And why would we send a baby back with a mother like that? Thank you.
Well, I with respect to the latter, it's just my opinion. A mother is still a mother. Can be a bad person, but still a mother. And unless they're engaging in active child abuse, she's still a mother. With respect to your first comment, yes, there is a birth tourism industry where people will pay to come to our shores in their 7th or 8th month of pregnancy when it's still relatively safe to travel, and they will then stay in hospitals until they give birth, and they will go back into their countries. And there are certainly evidence out there that there are some countries, it would surprise me if it was China, that are in fact sending people here to give birth so that at some point they can take those children who have been living back in China for many, many years and bring them back to the United States and then claim that that the people that are coming back to the United States are in fact U.S. citizens by dint of the fact that they were born on our shores. I believe it is exactly abuses like that among many that led President Trump to enter the executive order that he did.
All right, that's John Mel.
All right, you guys. So what do you think about that? Hey, Black TV. Hey, J Ben. What's going on, Ian? What's going on, Car? What's going on, Steven? America. Yeah. What do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about the fact that the Chinese, they're a habitual offender, but the Chinese come over here and they have something called birthing houses. Again, if the parents have no allegiance, how does the child? And that's what I think a lot of people didn't understand about the Pledge of Allegiance, right? I don't even know why they got that out of school. But it was a pledge, a daily pledge that you pledge to uphold the standards of this country. So if you're not beholding to that, how does the kid? Because if you take the kid back to where you are, they're going to be raised that way. Culture makes you American. So I'm not understanding what this argument is about. I'm not understanding how they're able to actually even have this argument. But they're having it. So now I want to get into the argument that Sonia Sotomayor, okay? Sonia Sotomayor, who is the Supreme Court Justice that Barack Obama put there. And then they tried to get her out to get Kamala to be president or something, okay? They were like, well, let's put her somewhere. They were just trying to put Kamala places, child. You can't make this stuff up. Anywho, Sotomayor was having a back and forth with the Solicitor General. So I want you guys to hear this back and forth because I thought it was brilliant. And you guys let me know down in the comments and in the chat what you think about it, okay? Here we go.
Right now, we have multiple courts. We have novel courts who've percolated this issue and said, you're violating precedent. Not only precedent, but the plain meaning of the 14th of the Constitution.
Respectfully, I think what we have are lower courts making snap judgments on the merits that ignore the fundamental principle of the 14th Amendment, that it was about giving citizenship to the children of slaves, not to the children of illegal immigrants who really were not even a very discrete class at that time. And that's the sort of argument that deserves
Congress who argued against the 13th Amendment just because of that. Some people who argued against passing the ship to gypsies.
I think the relevant history of the 14th Amendment is the statements of Senator Trumbull, who emphasized that domicile was the key criteria. And he said that in a letter to Andrew Jackson. And there we've cited in our Ninth Circuit briefing a host of decisions that back that up.
Rejected repeatedly. We can go into the history of citizenship, but I still go back to my question.
Ma'am, did you guys hear that? So every time he interjected there and he tried to say, hey, okay, this was for this. She not only overtalked him, she diverted the conversation to something else. Okay, she started talking about gypsies. Why are we talking about gypsies? We're talking about, at this point, I guess, African-American, Negroes, whatever. We're talking about descendants of slaves. Why are we talking about gypsies? Because it gets it off the topic. I keep saying I don't know why Black folk vote for the Democrats, because this woman is a Democrat, okay? But they don't like you. They don't like you. They don't like you. But you keep voting for them. All right. But this conversation definitely shows how they try to spin it. So even when he said, okay, but this is what it's for, she brought up something else. This is what they're going to continue to do because they want the new population. Okay. Ratchet Crockett can tell you whatever she wants. I'm going to tell you right now. Ratchet Crockett got into power because of that illegal immigration. Okay. They're down in Texas and they got a whole lot of new constituents. Now, you can say they didn't vote. However, in the census, they were counted. That's why she was complaining about the 2 new seats that Texas got right around her district. One went to a Democrat, one went to a Republican. And you know that Republican, his name is Wesley Hunt. Okay, that was the one that slayed D.L. Hughley. But that's what I'm saying. That's what these people think. These people think they can use whatever they want to prove their point when it's already there about what it says, just like birthright citizenship. That's why I say get rid of it. Birthright citizenship was for the group of people that didn't have any say in whether they wanted to be here or not. So you have all of these generations later that are here because of what? So that's who that's for. But, you know, the media, they're going to spin it the way they want to. They're just going to keep spinning it. So I just thought, hey, what's up, 2K? What's up, Tyrone? What's up, War Peace? Yeah, I just thought you guys, you know, that was an interesting conversation. And this is what they're going to keep doing. Because they do not care about black people. I'm telling you that right now. They don't care about black people. Not at all. Never have, never will. So you guys get down in the comments. You guys get down in the chat and let me know. And you guys make sure from 1 to 50, you drop a number in the chat because I'm going to pick a random number out of my mind. Okay. And I'll tell you what's going to happen once we come to the end of the show. Okay. So you guys get down in the comments and let me know what you think. All right. So let me go ahead and get into this super chat here. Let's talk game with Lyric the Gamer. Thank you so much for $9.99. Not sure if you know about this, but Washington State Governor Bob Ferguson, U.S. trying to sign into law. I don't have my glasses yet. Forgive me. Sign into law a reparations measure which involves housing for black people, which I completely disagree with. I completely disagree with it too if I'm paying for it. Who's paying for it? Long as it's not me. But thank you for the $9.99 super chat. Long as it's not me. I mean, if you guys want to pay for it, be my guest. I'm not paying for it. Thank you, Black TV, for the $2 super chat just dropping by. I appreciate ya. Thank you. And you and 2K and Kelly are hilarious over there. Anytime I can catch you guys, I definitely do. So thank you for supporting. And Artifacts, thank you so much for supporting the show. $5 super chat or super sticker. Thank you so much. And he's one of my mods, so thank you for modding. I appreciate it. We are growing, we are growing, we are growing. Thank you. Welcome if you just got here. Welcome, Melissa. Welcome, Stephanie. Hey, Magna Star. Hey, you guys. What's up, Journey? Yeah, put your numbers in the chat. Actually, let me get to this chat right here. Let me get to that. Talks with 2K with the $10 super chat. Thank you so much. Tory went to jail protecting a black woman. How fitting. Child, the 92%. You know we're going to get into it. You know we're about to get into it. But you know I don't like that woman. You know I don't like Meg Thee Stallion. But thank you, 2K. You're absolutely correct. I have 92% fatigue. Okay, me and Molly have 92% fatigue at this point. Right, Molly? What's up, the biz? Yeah, we have 92% fatigue at this point because the 92%, they're just doing the most. You got twerk videos at college graduations. They're hitting everybody. They're up in Lululemon, you know, tearing down clothes that they can't fit. All right. I can smell the TV from there. Okay. They're in there doing all types of splits, twerking, the wind, you know, twerk wind. A lot of y'all don't need to do it. So look, the 92% I'm definitely fatigued on. But I have been, when I say I have been fatigued on Megan Thee Stallion, I've been fatigued on Megan Thee Stallion. But we'll get into that shortly. I want to go ahead and get into David Hogg. Okay? If you guys don't know who David Hogg is the chair for the DNC. Now, he's a young guy. I do mean young. And I'm saying, when I say young, I'm talking about young. Right? That man is in his 20s. And a lot of the 92% does not, they don't like him. And they don't like him because he's white and he's young and he's a man. Okay. You can't have that over there with the Democrats. We already have, the Republican Party for the white man. Why do we need that over here? Okay. Yeah. Everybody that's a Republican is white. Right. So, you guys, I want to get into that because another habitual offender, okay, here on the Red Cup, we have another habitual offender of bald-headed reasoning, okay? None other than Simone Saunders. She's a habitual offender. All right, all her reasoning is just is empty-headed, okay? It's just gone. So she falls into bald-headed reasoning just like Ayanna Priestley. Just like Jasmine Crockett. Y'all think she don't fall into that, but she does. Okay. I'm just letting you know that. However, I want you guys to get into what Saunders had to say to David Hogg, because I'm telling you, the 92% is on his head. They don't like him because they think they should be in charge, which they are for the most part. Here we go.
That is what everyone is saying to me, that what you're doing is different than what's been done before. What's your answer to that?
My response is that I think what I'm doing that's different from before is I'm challenging the status quo in a direct way and head on. And that really scares people. But frankly, I think right now, nobody should be comfortable when our country is in a moment of crisis. And I think that there is far too much comfortability across the board. And we need to make sure that we are electing the best people possible and in our own party, using democracy to show how we're fighting to give you the best person to represent you possible, regardless of whether or not you're in a purple district or a very blue district. And ultimately, it's not me or any member of the DNC that is deciding these elections. It's the voters in these districts. And all we're trying to say here is let's give people the option when our party has a record low approval rating to say, here's what we're going to do. Here's how we're trying to address that. And here's how we're trying to use democracy ourselves to build the strongest Democratic Party possible so that we can get back to giving people an alternative vision for our country. That is not simply saying that we're against Donald Trump, because here's the question that I would pose to the people that don't agree with this. If this is not the answer,
what is?
How are we going to address that approval rating? I know this is controversial, but look, we are not challenging people that are in competitive seats that could risk us losing a majority in state legislatures or in Congress, and we're only challenging Democratic members in safe seats for the U.S. House. That's it. And we're also going to be supporting people running in competitive races. And what I'll tell you, what I'm looking at, Simone, is not who is calling me saying, oh my God, this is so great what you're doing necessarily from inside of DC. What I'm looking at is who are the young people? What are they saying? And I've never had so many young people come up to me to say, thank you for what you're doing. I was losing faith in politics. I was losing faith in the Democratic Party, but you've helped to reinstill it. And that's what matters here. We can't have a future of our party when we are losing vote share with every single demographic except the elderly and people with PhDs, basically.
Give that young white man a medal for standing up to the 92%. They do not like him. When I say they don't like him, they do not like him. Okay. Simone Saunders has been, the campaign manager for Colonel Sanders, aka Bernie Sanders. Okay. She has also run the Joe Biden campaign, and she has run the Kamala campaign. Go figure. Probably why she lost. However, here's the thing. The young white man is white. He's absolutely right. David Hogg is right. The Democratic Party is trash right now, and he's trying to restore it. Now, Tammy, might be Tammy. I said from 1 to 50. I'm gonna let you put another number in there. I'm gonna let you do another number. 1 to 50. I don't. It's Thursday. I've been up since 3. I don't want to count that high. But thank you, love. Thank you, love, for supporting. Thank you for being here. But yeah, 1 to 50. But back to Simone Saunders. here's the thing. She doesn't care about actual policies. She doesn't care. This young boy here, he actually cares about policies. They're stupid policies, but he actually cares about policies. All right. And a lot of the younger generation, they do care about policies. I can give credit and credence to that. And he's willing to spend their money, the DNC's money, on getting them up out of here. All the old guard. So that means Simone Saunders will not be running any of the young people's campaign. Okay? You know they're going to push AO crazy. All right? Because that, even though she's about, what, 36? Yeah. They're going to push AO crazy because she's very young. You know, for politics, she's very young. This gentleman here is very young. I'm surprised he got that seat, you know. But all of them are looking at David Hogg like, which side are you on? Singing their song. Y'all know the song. Y'all know the words. They're asking him, what side are you on? Because he wants to primary these old Democrats. And I think he should. Why not? Mr. Robertson, you're a fool for that one. She handsome. Y'all not right? What's up? What's up, Andrea? What's up, Triple? Oh, thank you. Thank you, Triple. Yeah. So at the end of the day, this is what the Democratic Party is talking about. Okay. They're they're at a point. They're at a point of no return. They're either going to sink or swim. To me, they're already in the water. All right. They're on what? One lifeline. I think they're already drowning. But we shall see. The primaries are coming up, and I'm going to say this. I'm glad I am a registered independent, because the Republicans, you talk about not fighting back. I need y'all to fight back. I need y'all to be like, do something. Right? Like, all of these people that should be in jail, I need you guys to put them in jail. Like, Pam, get the House, get all those people together, get the Senate together. You guys come up with good legislation, please. And on top of that, get these committees together and start looking into people that should have been looked into. Cash, what are you doing? We need you to prosecute. We need you to get up here. Okay? Pam, we need the files. ASAP. Chrissy doing good. But you guys, the Republicans, they got to come harder. They got to come harder. Because they like to talk about all of this stuff, lock her up, but then they go, we're in power. It's okay. No, lock them up. Start locking them up. Okay? And you can start with Gamla, because I assure you she knew what Joe Biden and them were doing. But you guys get down in the comments and let me know what you think about MSNBC going in on David Hogg, who is the young white man that they don't like, who is basically a new fresh face and is bringing new fresh people into the party. And they don't want these old fogies, the Golden Girls. They don't want Simone Saunders and all of them telling them who they can put in, because they are controlling the money right now. Okay. You got the Crypt Keeper, James Carver, over there just spinning his wheels. So you guys let me know what you think about that. I want to get into these super chats before I move on. I did that one. All right. Yeah, I did it. All right. So let me go ahead and move on. And you guys remember 1 through 50, 1 through 50, 50, 5 zero. Okay. 1 through 50, and put it in the chat, and I'm going to pick a random number. All right. All right. So let's move on to our point of the day. Free Tory Lanez. I've been telling you guys that Tory Lanez was innocent. I read that entire transcript along with my girl Milagro Grams. Okay. If you don't know who Milagro Grams is, please Google her, because she's also implicated, because she stayed on this case. She went down to the courts, she reported on it every day as an independent journalist. And when I tell you, she had some of the best journalism I've ever seen in my life. She had some of the best. She had the information ready to go before, journalists from all the major networks had it. And I'm telling you, she just writing it down. And people were trying to combat it. And then you look at the transcript and it's just like, oh, she was right. Yeah. However, in the words of Sunstar's daddy, Rock Nation is wicked. They are suing Milagro Graham. Okay. Because they're saying that she was bullying Meg Thee Stallion, who's like 95 feet tall, who can like kick like the average horse. She's bullying her. You can't make this stuff up. However, we're here to talk about Tory Lanez. Now, Tory Lanez, of course, you guys all know Tory Lanez from music, of course. But Tory Lanez is in the never-ending saga with Megan Thee Stallion about what was going on that night in the car, which I don't understand how he even got convicted for it, just alone with the fact that there's cameras everywhere in the state of California, from private cameras to cameras at the bus stops to cameras overhead to little drones to all types of things. Like, it is a total police state. It is China at this point. So I don't understand how no camera caught this. None. Not the Ring camera. Nothing. Okay. So I want to get into a little bit of what the update is, and then we're going to move over into other talking points. All right. So let's go ahead and get into the update for Tory Lanez. Here we go.
Not long ago, Unite the People was approached by a gentleman named Bradley James. Mr. James informed us he was working as the bodyguard and driver for Ms. Kelsey Harris during Mr. Peterson's trial. As such, he was in close proximity and he had privy to conversations she was having with her husband and others. Mr. James informed us he was not under a non-disclosure agreement or a confidentiality agreement and was free to speak with Unite the People, and that he was doing it because his conscience would not let him not speak and leave a man in prison for something he did not do. Mr. James informed Unite the People that he was a witness to the conversation Ms. Harris had, where she stated she had the gun, she fired it 3 times, Mr. Peterson grabbed her arm and knocked it down, and the gun fired 2 more times. In essence, Mr. Peterson never shot anybody, never even touched that gun, never fired the gun. This statement aligns with the statement of the only non-party witness to the case, Mr. Sean Kelly, who at trial testified he saw 2 women fighting, 2 men break up the fight, 1 man grabbed the other one's arm. Gunshots came from the passenger side. Passenger side is where Ms. Harris was sitting. This further iterates that Mr. Peterson did not shoot Ms. Pete, did not shoot at Ms. Pete, or did not assault Ms. Pete. It's just another irregularity in a list of irregularities in this case. For example, there were 3 potential suspects in the car that night, and yet the only DNA sample was taken of Mr. Peterson, even though unknown DNA was found on the gun. Why wasn't Ms. Harris's DNA taken? Or Was it taken and the information simply never given to the defense? Why wasn't the driver of the car, Mr. Jaquan Smith's DNA taken? Or was it taken and again, simply not given to the defense?
All of those questions came up during the trial. Okay? Every last question that this gentleman raises came up during the trial. Somehow it wasn't relevant. Okay? So that is the latest. But what I want to get into is a recording of Tory Lanez talking about this case from jail. Because at this point, I mean, you didn't got convicted for it. But he has an appeal. Okay? He has an appeal coming up. And what you just heard and new evidence is in this appeal. And as you know, Tory Lanez was just stabbed a couple of days ago. So all of this is boiling down to why. And that's because this appeal just might make it because you have new evidence. Okay, that's how you get a appeal, unfortunately. So you have new evidence. But I want you guys to listen to Tory talking from jail. Here we go.
4 contributors on this suspected gun. 90% contributor on this gun is a male, and the rest of the percentages of this gun are 2 females and another male. None of those 4 people are my DNA. So I am 100% excluded, not inconclusive like they said when I was in trial. I'm 100% excluded from this gun when it comes to DNA. My fingerprints are 100% excluded from the magazine, from the gun, from the bullets, from anything that has to do with this gun. Cedars-Sinai Hospital, with the help of LAPD, Los Angeles Police Department, for those who don't understand the abbreviation, together, they have put on my discovery that we have lost the bullet fragments. Well, if you lost the bullet fragments, then you can't even attach this gun to the alleged bullets that allegedly hit the victim in LA County. So we can never, ever grab the gun and do any retesting. The LAPD made sure to seal the gun so that there would be no retesting on this gun. When we went into court and we put these things in and said, hey, like, we're factually innocent due to these facts, the court said, you know what? We're going to consider that because there's good reason appearing on what you're saying. My judge, Judge Harringford, Judge David B. Harringford, I watched this man literally look at me and say, so let's just say I'll take the DNA evidence to be real, and I'll say that it's true. He said this on record, by the way, it's in my transcripts. He says, I'll take the DNA evidence to be true, but I'm going to say this. At the end of the day, even if I take it to be true, that's not a big factor in this case. That's not why he got convicted. Brother, what the fuck are you talking about? My nigga, what the fuck is you talking about, my nigga? Because that's the whole case.
That is the whole case. And that is the whole case. Now, we talk about believe all women. We talk about this and that and the third. However, the only time I've ever believed Megan the Mule is when she said that she stepped on glass the first time they asked. So when they asked her the first time, okay, when they asked about what happened, she said, oh, I stepped on glass. That's exactly what it was. It was glass. And then I guess later on, you know, they wanted to spin it. But that's exactly what it was the first time. Her wounds, if you can see that foot, I don't want to show that foot here. It makes my stomach hurt. Okay. I've never seen a foot that big in my life. Gosh. If you see the foot, you can literally see that it's consistent. And then because I read the transcripts, in the transcripts, they decided to bring on an expert. I guess he might be like a surgeon or something like that, right? And he said that there was no nerve damage. Oh, if you had a gun blow a piece of your foot off, there's nerve damage. Okay? There's nerve damage. And then Megan gets on the stand later and says, oh, and I had nerve damage and this and this and that. What? Now, I'm going to tell y'all something. One of the craziest things in this whole case for me was the fact that they said that Tory Lanez stood up. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever seen a whole full body picture of me. I am 4'10". Tory Lanez is 4'11". Okay, we're the same size. Okay, give him 5 foot. We're the same size. They said that he stood up on a big Navigator truck, stood over the window. You know how you stand up on the rail, or the little sidebar thing that you step up in. Stand over that. Stand up on that and puts his hand over the door to shoot at Megan's feet and said, dance, bitch, dance. No, I'm not lying, Molly. That's what they said. That he stood over the door. And so, because I go a lot of places, I one time had I rented matter of fact, I was in California when I was shooting a music video. And so I decided to get the same truck. And I stood up over it. I couldn't even get my little arm. My arm's a little. I couldn't get my arm over it. You guys have seen that infamous picture of Megan Thee Stallion and Tory. Okay? Let me see if I can pull that picture up. Of Meg and Tory. Megan Thee Stallion is like RuPaul height. Okay, like she's extremely tall. Tory is my height. Here we go. Yeah, this that picture. Look, you guys. Y'all remember that picture? He's so little. He is so little. Like, how do you figure? How do you figure that man stood over the door? Like, if you just had common sense and wasn't, I just believe all women, I believe a black woman, I don't believe humans like that, let alone everything somebody says, let alone everything a woman says. For what? For what? When you could be lying. And that's exactly what this is. Okay? So you have that there. But look how small he is. Look how small he is. So, no, miss me with that. He stood up over the door. Please. There's absolutely no way. It's absolutely no way. So, you guys get down in the comments and let me know what you thought about one, what Unite for the People said, which is like a part of his legal team. And then let me know what you thought about Tory Lanez talking about it in his own words. All right. So I'm telling you guys, I want to get into this really quick. So this is a little bit of Milagro talking about this situation.
Find it. I'm gonna get it for y'all. I want to show y'all now though, because I don't like waiting, but it's okay. Y'all get the point. I'm gonna go find this shit.
Trigger warning, Milagro cusses a lot.
Let me see what else this shit said. Yeah, I have representation. So I said Megan wants to know what she has to stop, what she has to do to stop being posted on certain outlets, and then says that she's gonna Cardi B y'all hoes. My suggestion would be to just get over it or go away. Cardi won her case because Tasha can't hand it to her. Other than that, you're gonna get posted. Oh well. Megan Thee Stallion didn't say nothing directly to me. So trying to frame this as though Megan came to me and asked me what she could do to get me to stop talking about her, that's not what happened. Megan said something and it was made public, and I gave my response, my opinion. My suggestion would be get over it. You don't like people talking about you? She didn't say Millie. She said people, bloggers, or go away. You're a public figure. So you're going to get posted. I never said, fuck you, and I'm going to tear you down every day because I want to hurt your feelings. That's not what I said. So Megan never said anything directly to me, and I never said directly to her.
So you hear Milagograms in her own words, and her post is right there of what she actually said about Megan Thee Stallion, you know, publicly. And yet she still got sued. Now, do I think Megan Thee Stallion will win this lawsuit? No. But a lot of the times, these labels and things like that, they will, you know, drain your pockets. Politicians, all of them, just draining your pockets. That's what it's for. It's there solely just to drain your pockets, right? Or to get you to stop doing whatever it is that you're doing. All right. And we all know that Megan Thee Stallion supports Kamala. So it goes back into what I always say, popping politics goes hand in hand, right? It goes to show you that the left wants to silence certain voices, right? If they don't agree with you, all right, if they're not going with the public narrative, then they want to silence you. It's done in pop culture, it's done in politics. It's all the same. And Tory Lanez, unfortunately, put himself in that position by messing with the two girls that are friends, like a dummy, right? Knowing that two girls that know each other, come on, it was eventually going to go awry. That still does not excuse lying on a man, saying that he committed violence against you when he didn't. So I assure you, I don't like any of that. So I want to know what you guys think about that. Okay, Cooper. What's up? What's up, Miss Sparkles? Yeah, I want to know what you guys think about that. Get down in the comments and let me know, because I'm just looking at all of this, and you know, some people will say, "Oh, well, it's because Milagro." I know Milagro. We're not best of friends, right? But I know her, and that woman has done nothing but just tell the truth about anything that she pretty much puts out. All right. Tory Lanez has the right to defend himself, and he wasn't allowed to defend himself. Honestly and truly. Megan Thee Stallion got a gag order on these people, but she gets to say whatever she wants. And she gets to, exacerbate the situation over and over and over again, bringing it up when she wants to, crying about it when she wants to, or saying that, oh, what she said to Gayle King. Oh, why would you bring that up, Gayle? You know I slept with him. Yeah, we know you're a liar. That's what we're saying. We know. So why would we think any different about the rest of it? Why would we think any different? We wouldn't. So, at the end of the day, who cares? Who cares what Megan Thee Stallion, aka Megan the Mule, has to say? Free Tory Lanez. You guys, I hope Tory wins this appeal, because this man is sitting in jail for absolutely no reason. And I do mean absolutely no reason. He didn't do anything to that woman other than, go behind her back. But that Megan says she does that all the time. And she said that, she don't care about these dudes. They're not exclusive. So what were you mad about in the first place? Were you mad that he was in there with the white woman? I don't know. But at the end of the day, all of this is stupid. The friend, she's dumb. Okay. You could have lost your freedom if Tory would have told the truth in court and snitched on you. But you could have lost your freedom as well. All for what? Like, a bunch of sex and orgy. Just it's too much. It's too much. But this is the industry, you guys. Okay. So you guys get down in the comments. Let me know what you think about the whole free Tory Lanez not, unfortunately being in jail, getting stabbed, being in jail for absolutely no reason, and having the evidence to prove that he should not be in there. Let me know what you guys think. I'll see you guys in the comments. Yeah, let me know. I'll see you guys in chat. So look, all right. So we have come to the end. All right. And I am just going to pick a number. I'm just going to pick a number. So I'm going to roll this here. And I'm just going to land on something. Here we go. Here we go. You guys can't see it, but I'm rolling in the chat. Here we go. All right. 1, 2, 3. Now I don't see a number. Oh, here we go. Is Tracy's take still here? Is Tracy's take still here? You guys, do you see Tracy in the chat? Maz, do you see Tracy in the chat? No? Y'all sure? No? Y'all sure? Okay, cool. All right. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Who's this? Christopher Chapman. Is Christopher Chapman still here? Christopher Chapman. We still got Christopher? Now, Magnus Star. Hold on. You got to give it like a second. No? Going once. Going twice. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Tracy's take is here. Okay. All right. Well, you were first. You were first. And so, Tracy, I want you to email me. I want you to email me your name, your real name. I want you to send me your address. Okay. And my email is on my page, is on my profile. All right. And email me because I am going to send you a gift. And I'm going to write a personalized message on it as well. All right. And I want to show you the gift that I'm going to send you. All right. I'm going to send you a cup. And then I don't know if you can see it on the back. It says bald-headed reasoning. And then I'm going to write a nice little message here because I do appreciate you guys. So I have merchandise that will be coming soon, but I also wanted to give everybody that's been watching, a big thanks, and whatever I can give and do and help with, I shall. But Tracy, send it to me. Okay. Again, it's on my page. Look on the YouTube page. If you do not find it there, if you're on Instagram, you can DM me. Okay. And you can send me your name and your address, and I'll send it to you wherever you're at in the country. Now, if you're out the country, we got to talk about shipping. But if you're in the country, don't worry about it. All right. So definitely send me that information. Now, I'm on Instagram at Pop Culture Mika. Just one big word. Pop Culture MICCA. Okay. But I'm going to send you one because I appreciate you for watching. All right. And I'm going to write a personalized message on it. Thank you, Tracy's Tape. I appreciate it. All right, you guys. So I'm going to get into the last couple of super chats here. Let me find the first one here. All right. Sugar Shane. Thank you for the $2 super chat. I need to buy some stocks. What's Pelosi's pick today? Child, you got to get that app. Pelosi got a whole app. Well, somebody else made it up, but it's a whole app where you can look at her stock pick. It's always good. Okay. Even if you can only afford one, it's always good. All right. And you can follow the bag chasers. You can go over there and follow Anton. Okay. On his what is it called? Patreon. Anton's always talking about stocks. He was talking about he was about to pay me in stocks. I was like, I already have stocks. But yeah, you can follow that. You can follow Nancy Pelosi. Shane, stocks is where it's at. And I guarantee you, if you do it now before Trump gets this economy booming, you'll be fine. All right. Thank you for the $2 super chat. I definitely appreciate it. Chris Cunningham, $9.99 super chat. Thank you so much. How much time should Meg get? Forever. Okay. Mr. Ed ought to get all of the time for lying like that, because she was damn sure enough going to let, Tory Lanez rot in jail. Let her rot in the stable. Thank you, Chris, for the $9.99 super chat. I appreciate it. Mr. Robinson with the $5 super chat. Thank you. Remember her BF, Partisan Fontaine? Mm-hmm. Her beard. Her BF, Partisan Fontaine. I think his name, yes, that is his name. He broke up with her because she was sleeping with other guys. Of course, that song was fire too that he put out. Yeah, Partisan Fontaine is a ghostwriter in the industry. He writes for a lot of people. A lot of them I know. But yes, you're absolutely correct, Mr. Robinson. Mm-hmm. That's why I don't understand why she was so upset. That one, he's sleeping with old girl, and two, that he was all up in Kylie's face. Y'all know Kylie Jenner. Okay. He said she was looking heavily in the pool and whatever. Just jealous. Megan the Mule is definitely not secure in her masculinity. I'm sorry, femininity. Thank you, Mr. Robinson. DJ Ace Productions, $10 super chat. Thank you so much. Supporting the platform. I appreciate you. I definitely do. Thank you. And Magna Star, $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Mika, we had a deal. You said you were going to be. Now, you know. Don't tell them that. Do not tell them that. You know. However, I have a lot of stuff coming up. Where we're going to do a lot of fun things. I've really been growing on this channel, and I can't thank you guys enough. I'm so thankful. So thank you, Magnastar, for the $5 super chat. Y'all are wild. But yeah, you guys, I have a lot of stuff coming up. So again, shout out to Tracy's Take. Make sure you send me that information, because if not, I can look at all this. Okay. I'm going to give you 2 days. I can look at all this right here, and I can go ahead back and pick another one. So I want to give it to you because you were here. All right. All right. So you guys, thank you for pulling up. Thank you for pouring it up with me. All right. And I want to thank Magna Star, Molly, Yukar, the Ski Report, Artifacts, Miss Freckles, Tyrone, Big Happy, Trice. Yep, I see you. I want to thank everybody for pulling up. I want to thank Eric, Sugar Shane, Andrea, Losoe, okay, Eric Holmes, Clarence, DJ Ace Productions. Let's see here. Mr. Robertson, K. Cooper, Tracy's Take, Mama, girl, Chris Cunningham, Carr, I9 Bash, Michael, That's not Michelle Michael, is it? I think I'm on the ish list. I think I got everybody. Christopher Chapman. Yep. Quick Fix. Van Pass. Van 927. What is this? CZ. Chaffer. The Biz. Yeah, I think I got everybody I can see. You guys, thank you so much again for pulling up. And we're gonna be doing a lot of good things here. So you guys, I appreciate it. If you want to see me later, I will be with Anton Daniels on After Hours from 10 to the wee hours of probably about 2, 3 in the morning. You can't make this stuff up. It's your girl, Mika. And I appreciate everybody. And I'm out. Peace.